Good Tuesday morning, friends. It's me, Terry Lambertson. This is what I have for you today. My dear, in the midst of hate, I found there was within me an invincible love. In the midst of tears, I found there was within me an invincible smile. In the midst of chaos, I found there was within me an invincible calm. I realized through it all that in the midst of winter, I found there was within me an invincible summer. And that makes me happy, for it says that no matter how the world pushes against me, within me there's something stronger, something better, pushing right back. Falsely yours, Albert Camus. You know, it's really strange when people who don't profess any Christian leanings, and then they write something that can be nothing else but God. Seriously. You know, 3 times in my life, I think I've said this 3 times in my life, I have lost absolutely everything. And every single time, God has come through in ways that can only be Him, can only be God, you know, because it's too big to be just of this world, you know. 22 years ago, I was getting evicted from my apartment. My teenage daughter was pregnant, and I was too sick to work. And the only I had 2 options. One was to go back home to my family in California and absolutely prove that every lie, misconception, and thought of the devil that they had about me was absolutely true. Or lean into God as I never had my entire life and trust in Him. We never went cold. We never missed a meal. We got to spend some time apart, but that just made the coming back together all that sweeter, you know. And things settled down, you know. And it wasn't until, we lived in a shelter for 7 months. We moved out of there, and 2 or 3 months later, my lawsuit settled. And through God's provision, we were made whole. And you just never know, you know? And you just never know, because it's 22 years later, and I've been with the love of my life for 20 years. And 5 years ago, we built this house, and we've been living in it for 4 years. Yeah, me who didn't know how she was going to house herself 22 years ago, never, ever dreamed of all this. Never, ever dreamed of all this. So, yeah, you know, I say it all the time, friends, no matter what you're going through, the comeback is always bigger than the setback. And if it's not good, it's not over. Lean into God as you never have before, and watch Him work. All right, you guys, I hope you all have a terrific Tuesday. I'll be back with you again on Wednesday morning. I'll see you then, friends. Bye now.